Alright, so we made it through the first 7 levels. Some easy, some very difficult, but believe it or not, the worst is yet to come. Before we get there though, we have level 8, the Intruder Excluder, or simply known as the elevator shaft.
They start you out with a weapon right away. You don't need this pole to make it all the way through or anything, but it proves to be very useful, even in ways that aren't so obvious. The goal is to make your way to the top of the elevator shaft, where you'll eventually face the boss, Robo-Manus. These springs may look easy to use, but they're not. Jump on them, then hit A again, shortly after the spring starts moving up. Obviously, time yourself so that you don't get electrocuted here, and smash this extra pole for points. If you die at any point shortly after this area, you'll be restarted back around here, and the pole will be on the wall again for you to take. What's cool is that you can make it through these electrical currents before they're fully engaged. Always go for the one up, but wait until the opening is to the right of you so that you can bounce off of the beam and head to the left. Head back up and get this guy out of the way. Using the pole to kill enemies garners less points, but it's totally worth it on this level. These are literally bouncing globs of snot, and they're very unpredictable. Press B rapidly to get it off of you if you're stuck. Oops. Like I said, grab the second pole and make your way back up. No big deal because there's that one up that's always sitting there. Look at this, you have to wait and hope that the thing comes to you before you kill it. I'm at the mercy of snot. I still couldn't do it. And I just lost my weapon. Great. You can still kill the main enemies, but you have to be a little quicker now because you have to get closer to them to punch. Grab some flies to reimburse your health and wait for the toxic gas before jumping up. Here's a tricky part that you need to know before you actually jump though. Immediately start running to the left against the air current so that you're not blown off of the beam.
Alright, so now I'm starting to die a lot. Not a good sign. This has been a pretty good run so far, but you can tell that I'm getting a little over-anxious and a little overconfident. I guess all I can tell you at this point is to let my mistakes guide you.
The thing about having a weapon is that it allows you to ram the obstacles on the wall. Like here, you can kill the poison gas shooter thing so that you don't have to worry about it, but you need the pole to ram it. I don't know why that is, but it is. Finding a rhythm is a pain in the ass here, especially if you're in a groove, but you just have to be patient. This is the last serious section of the level, and this is how you have to go about it. Jump on the spring after the spray of gas, move to the left to land on the beam, and then immediately jump right to grab the one up. As soon as you land back on the beam, start running to the right to avoid getting sucked in by the air vent by, of course, double tapping the directional button. Wait for the right two to stop and jump up to the third beam. We're almost there. You want to jump for 2 reasons here, to avoid falling down the opening below and to see the moving beam above. Now you have to time your jump so that you make it through the top beam without being gassed. It's really not that hard, just use your best judgment. Wait here until you're comfortable jumping through this electrical beam and stay to the right. This is the beginning of the end. The only real advice that I have for making your way up to the final boss is to either stay in the middle or left while jumping through the openings. He'll fall down from the right hand side of the screen, and that's not where you want to be, especially because you'll become paralyzed and shocked when you see him. I used to have a lot of trouble with this guy, but I don't anymore. Whenever you ram, kick, or punch him, he'll go flying up in the air, allowing you time to hit him again before he lands. However, if you're too close beneath him, you'll get squashed and instantly lose a life. And if you don't hit him before he comes down, he'll fire bullets as soon as he lands, which you can avoid by quickly ducking. So, trying to continuously hit him before he touches the ground is very risky for these 2 reasons. What I try to do is knock him into the air, get as close to him as I can while he's landing, and then duck to dodge the bullets before hitting him in the air again. Only if it feels safe will I hit him again while he's in the air. As expected, his speed increases the more you damage him, so getting close gets really difficult. Be cautiously aggressive or else you'll learn just how easily he can crush you. I can't stress it enough, there's no time limit, so take as much time as you need. It took me 21 hits to kill him.
So now we reach what I consider the hardest level in the entire game, my own personal nightmare. Level 9 is the Terra tubes and it's unforgiving. It requires a set of skills like good reaction time and memorization, and it just goes on forever.
Right off the bat, you have to duck to avoid a shot from an enemy that you can't even see. Ram the robot, but don't touch it, otherwise it'll explode and kill you on impact. Quickly move all the way to the left to avoid the spikes and then glide to the right until you hit the water. You can't run and ram while in the water, so you have to get close and punch the robot. Like I said, don't bump into it though. There are 2 more to worry about as you make your way up. Jumping through the water instead of walking will speed you along, so remember that later. Grab the propeller stick and stay to the right, then to the left, and now to the right again. Section 2, you have to run from 4 giant gears, and it just requires memorization because there are spikes to avoid that you won't be able to anticipate. Drop and stay right, left, right. Double tap the directional button to run as far right as you can, then wait to jump over the gear to pass. You'll be hopping through water for the 3rd gear. Just jump up and to the right, then up and to the left. Right, left, then right and directly to the wall.
See a pattern here? Right, left, right. It's never the same direction twice in a row, well, until a part near the very end.
Here's the final one. Stay right, left. Right, left. Right, and hide out in this little cove and wait for the gear to drop. Fall down into the water to begin the real headache.
You're going to have to swim your way to the tubes now, avoiding eels, sharks, spikes, a bunch of other enemies. Unlike Sonic the Hedgehog for Genesis or Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles for Nintendo, you don't have to worry about oxygen, so I guess there's that.
Swim all the way up past this electric eel to the surface of the water and jump over the spikes. You can slightly bounce off the surface to make it easier, just hold up as you're jumping. These yellow eels are unpredictable. They swim in a different direction every time, so my advice is to try and quickly swim past them instead of engaging in a fight. Ram the robot, but watch not to fall into the spikes. Jump over them and stay low to avoid the fish. Stay along the base of the tube until about here, and then swim up to avoid the other fish. Drop down, be careful of the spikes, and quickly swim under the hole before any yellow eels come out. They're gray eels you want to smash. 2 hits should do it. Go underneath these spikes and swim up. Again, kill the gray eel. A shark will show up above you, and it's best to punch that too. For the second shark, go left against the wall, turn around, and smash him. Quickly swim up and get the extra life, and swim to the left to begin the second to last section of the level. Stay right as you drop down, then left. Drop as closely to the spikes as you can while swimming to the left to ensure that you don't swim up and hit the edge of the tube. Drop down, stay right, and then do this little trick. Hang out near the wall until about here, then drop down to the spikes to let the gear pass. Otherwise, you risk the chance of getting hit by the gear while swimming up to avoid the spikes below. Are you with me? There's a trick that you can do here where you stay down near the spikes and just punch. Rash will stay exactly in place when he does this, so that eliminates the possibility of swimming up and getting killed. I don't know, that's a little cheap though. Call me old-fashioned. Here's the worst one. Drop down and stay right while swimming up to avoid the spikes. The rhythm of your swimming might be a little off here, so hold on to A and press up as you near the surface. Don't let go of A until you land here. Drop and stay left. Jump through the water to gain some ground, and then stay right and swim up. Keep staying right and up all the way through here and drop down into this little area while avoiding these spikes. They don't give you much room here, so stay as close to the spikes as you can before swimming up.
This is the final section of the level, and it's pretty absurd. Thankfully, there's a 1-up in the very beginning of it, and so if you're able to grab it after you die and restart, then you should have plenty of opportunities to practice what to do to make it through.
The first thing that you have to do is swim to about here and knock the shark away. Jump at the surface, then over the spikes to grab the extra life. Take the propeller down, left, right, and left. You'll find a rubber ducky that you have to kill as it's facing away from you. 7 punches. There are 2 more below, and they swim at a faster speed than you, so hit them as many times as you can, then jump closer to finish them off before they turn around. These things will kill you with 1 hit, so be really quick.
Oddly enough, this isn't the first time that a yellow rubber ducky has appeared in a very hard Nintendo game. There's also one in Silver Surfer. It makes me wonder, was this like an inside joke among game designers at the time? Were yellow rubber duckies like the Wilhelm scream of Nintendo games? Regardless, game designers of the future, you know what to do from now on.
You're going to want to swim between the spikes and wait for the fish here. It'll hit you if you approach it, and you could go flying back into the spikes, so it's actually best to swim by it, or let it swim away from you. There's a final shark here, so quickly swim by it through the opening in the spikes and then turn around to punch it. Hopefully this will buy you some time to swim down, then up. But the shark is vigilant and it won't let you off easy. I almost made it through on my first try because that was near the end. There are just so many different ways to die in this section, it's ridiculous. I made it back to this part on my second try, and this time I was more fortunate. Swim up and stay to the right, but keep a safe distance until the duck is far enough to the left. Jump up and land on this sliver of wall here. Grab the propeller and stay close to the middle, adjusting slightly to the left and right, back and forth, to avoid the spikes. Stay away from the wall to the left because the shark is still somehow able to bite you. After the sixth one, quickly move all the way to the right to make it through.
It's my opinion that if you could reach the point where making it through that level isn't that difficult, then you should really have no problem making it through the rest of the game. However, many people claim that the next level is the hardest one.
Level 10 is the rat race, and you'll find yourself going down the elevator shaft this time. It's divided into 3 sections before the boss, and in each section you'll be racing a rat, so the name of the level is pretty literal, I guess. This third gas shooter is timed differently than the first 2, so wait a second. At this point, the rat will appear, and you'll have to race him down to a bomb before he detonates it. The important thing to note is that you automatically run when the rat shows up. There's no need to double tap the directional button. The pattern of the openings is left, right, and when they appear continuously, you want to fall through them without hitting the edges because that'll slow you down, and speed is the name of the game here. There's actually a way to finish this level near the first bomb without having to race the other rats or face the end boss. Make your way down to about here and wait for him to almost catch up to you. Drop down to the bomb and wait until he hits the wall before you kick it. Quickly ram him, then kick him. This will end the level.
I'm not sure if this is a glitch or just a secret, but it could definitely help you move on in the game if you're having trouble completing this level, and I know a lot of people do.
If you're a purist, then simply move on to the next section. There's a tricky part coming up. You have to fall while moving left for 3 beams while staying as far right as you can go so you don't get gassed. Then quickly move right so you're not sucked into the vent. Run through the opening before the final shot of gas and get ready for the second rat. Not only is this rat quicker than the first, but the downward path is more challenging. After the 4th pair of purple beams, just drop straight down. I know your instinct tells you to run left, but just try to remember. You can drop through these moving beams without moving much yourself if you find the right location. At this point, you should be far enough ahead of them to allow a few mistakes, but don't get too comfortable. The bomb is on the right-hand side now, so kick it and stay as far right as you can go. When you drop, you'll fall down to the second beam, which will help you avoid getting hit by the ball. Stay here and wait to run once the gas is clear. Do this 3 more times until the final rat appears. Now things get ridiculous. You'll have to use the same strategy as before, dropping and quickly hitting left and right to avoid touching the beams. Quickly find a rhythm here to make your way through. You definitely need to be ahead of him at this point, and I find what helps me is hitting the directional button to turn shortly before the end of the beams. Since Rash is running, there's a slight overcarry because of momentum when he stops, so I start changing directions right about here. It's a risky move because it can completely screw you up, and I wouldn't suggest it until you're totally comfortable with the sensitivity of the controls.
Is this actually a third rat or the same rat that keeps coming back? I have no idea, and frankly, I don't care. Neither should you. Focus on the game.
He'll catch up to you at this point, but don't panic. Wait until he comes up from behind, then try to hit him if need be. This will send him in the opposite direction, and it'll buy you a second or 2. However, missing the hit will set you back a second or 2, so be sharp. You see, I let him go by there because I didn't want to risk it. If you do everything well, you should drop through the final opening before the electrical current shows up, and down to the bomb, which is in the middle. You think that after all of that trouble, the level would end, but no. There's the final boss, General Slaughter. He won't move until you hit him first, typically by ramming then punching him, and the good news is he's pretty easy to kill. He'll move from left to right and gain speed the more you hit him, so knock him in the ass a few times to get him going. As you see, he'll bounce in the air when he hits the wall. My strategy is to jump over him and ram him while he's coming down from his bounce. After some damage, he'll start to move in the air before he comes down from your first ram hit, and it gives you a good opportunity to stay left and ram him again. His pattern is so easy and predictable that you really shouldn't have that much trouble, just as long as you follow this strategy. Jump, ram, ram. This boss is really crazy looking, with the spikes and his mouth wide open and everything. He almost looks satanic. I guess what you want to do is just beat the devil out of him.
We've come so far. Only 2 levels left before the Dark Queen. Be sure to keep checking back as I show you how to get there, along with where to find all the warps in the game. As always, I'm sure I missed a few things here and there, and so please let me know in the comments section. Until then, keep practicing.